right, it's Lambo Sports featuring Big Buddy, featuring Sideline Sports Network. I already said that. It's Totem Pole Nation. If you can like, comment, subscribe. This is a Sunday night football game that you really, really want to watch. All right, the Eagles versus the Dolphins. Two quarterbacks that played at the University of Alabama. Jalen Hurts, Tua. Jalen Hurts played 1 year, I guess, in Oklahoma under Lincoln Riley. As you already know that. In this game, two defenses are very suspect, except the Eagles' run defense. The Eagles' run defense is one of the best in the league, which I keep forgetting to correct myself on that because I just thought the defense in general was just awfully bad. Now they got points scored on and yards given up, obviously, but it's hard to run the ball in the Philadelphia Eagles. But this is a different team in the Miami Dolphins that are number one in offense. They can do everything, all right? They have Raheem Mostert, they have Tyreek Hill, they have Jalen Waddle, they have Tua. Now, Tua is a great quarterback when he does not turn the ball over. Or his new nickname, or the nickname I gave him last year in Total Pro Nation is Tua turned the ball over. That was part of my thumbnails last year. Tua turned the ball over when he threw 3 interceptions against the Packers. Different story for later. Now, if Tua keeps playing the way he's playing the MVP caliber. I believe he's an MVP caliber quarterback when he's healthy. Now, when he's not healthy, I can't say he's an MVP. Now, luckily, his career is still going on. I like Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel came through a lot. He came under the Shanahan tree. I watched his story. It's great. I'm glad that he remorse his life. I think he's a great head coach, and if you watch him mic'd up, he's pretty damn funny, and he likes to score points. With the missing of Devon Achane and another running back that was hurt 2 weeks ago, Raheem Mostert's role has now built up more. So if you have him on your fantasy, which I do, I have him in the starting lineup. He gave me a shit ton of points last week, and hopefully in this Sunday night's game, he'll give me some points. Jalen Hurts, all right? Jalen Hurts, I get it. He lost to the Jets. I'm not giving him any excuses. You lost to the Jets with DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner? That's just not a good look. That's just not a good look in my heart, and I'm very, very honest. You know I'm a Cowboys hater. I got to shit on Jalen Hurts. That's goddamn awful. I mean, it's just bad. I don't know what to tell you. Now, I don't think Jalen Hurts will have 3 interceptions again because the Dolphins' defense doesn't have a Jalen Ramsey. They have an Eli Apple replacing Jalen Ramsey. So you give the ball to A.J. Brown, his only receiver, but he needs to spread the ball a little bit more. Give it some to Devontae Smith. Give it some to what? They still got Dallas Goedert, I think. Just spread it out a little bit more. A.J. Brown can't be your primary target. I understand he has a little frustration with not getting the ball as much, but he can't be your primary number one target. Now, the upset pick that I have, I'm picking the Miami Dolphins to beat the Eagles. Here's why. The Miami Dolphins can run the ball better than the Eagles can. Just with Raheem Mostert going off. Tua can run the ball, but I think with his injury history with the RPO, I guess Mike McDaniel really want him to do a bunch of RPOs with Tua just in general, just because of his injury history, and we seen his serious shit of concussions last year. I mean, what he had 3 in 1 season, so I guess you save him. Who in that Eagles defense is gonna stop Tyreek Hill? Nobody. Who in that Eagles secondary is gonna stop Jalen Waddle? Nobody. So it comes down to play calling, and the Eagles had Brian Johnson as the offensive coordinator. I'm not saying the man can't call plays, but Mike McDaniel, he is creative as shit. And as me being a Patriots fan and watching what the Dolphins did, they only scored 24 points. But they were creative as shit in their formations. They were creative. And as much as we try to stop Tyreek Hill, he had a limited amount of catches. As me as a Patriots fan, we lost. I thought we did well against the Dolphins. Our offense just can't do anything, which is a different story for later. I'm taking the Dolphins win this game. It's not – if Tua doesn't turn the ball over, I take the Dolphins win this game. I'm not saying the Eagles don't have a chance to win, but defensively, I'd rather take the Dolphins' pass defense. It's because they still have Xavier Howard, and I guess the Eagles have what? C.J. Gardner and Darius Slay?
CJ's in Detroit.
Detroit. I'm sorry. I guess they only have Darius Slay? Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Well, they have Reed Blankenship at safety as well, but he's out this week. And then they have another cornerback out this week in Bradley Roby. So this is definitely going to be like the truest test for this defense for sure. Slay is back, which is very important. That is important, being down a safety against an offense like this. And they also have Edmonds to slide back between linebacker and safety a lot as well. So Ramsey started practicing this week. He's obviously not going to play, but he's going to be back pretty soon, which this secondary is going to look a lot different. Xavier Howard was limited in practice all week, but it looks like he's going to play as well. And then you look at like the Eagles offense. I know like they've had up and down games, and then because like some games they score a lot, some games they just don't. And then we saw also all year being up and down in the scores that they allow. The Patriots score 12 points a game and they let them put 20. The Vikings, I guess they've been scoring a good amount this year. And then the Commanders put up 31.
Just what an awful.
Yeah, the Commanders put 31 up on them. So like some weeks they do well, other weeks they just don't show up. Obviously they showed up against the Rams, did a good job against Puka, but like I don't know. This offense is just not like an offense they've played this year at all. And I do think it'll be a close game, but I've got the Dolphins as well at 28-24. I think this game is going to come down to whose offense can get something done at the end of the game. And I can see having like Philly having a lead going into the fourth and Miami pulling something out. So that's what I'm going with. Dolphins by 4 points. I don't know. Dallas is on a bye this week. And so are the Hokies. So I have a stress-free sports weekend here. I know that neither one of my teams are going to lose this weekend. That's 100% accurate. This is the most excited I am about any game this weekend. I'm going to be glued to the TV Sunday night.
Most excited? Even out of the college games?
Oh, well, I'm talking NFL. I think this is I think this is the most entertaining NFL game this week by far.
I do agree with that. I don't have a stress-free. My only stress-free is Notre Dame and Virginia Tech on a bye week. The Patriots probably won't beat the Bills. If we get, I'll talk about the Mac Jones stuff later, but I still have to worry about my Patriots at 1 o'clock. As much as I feel like I don't want to watch them, I'm still going to watch them because they're still my team, but I might just not wear any Patriots stuff. And I got Patriots stuff on my bed, so I might just get rid of it and put some Celtics stuff on there because basketball season's on the way. Because I'm just sick and tired of this. I'm about to do it in a second. But I think this is the most entertaining game. I agree with you. I think it's two high-powered offenses. Two defenses are still suspect, but I think just with it could be a high-scoring game. It could be what the Dolphins and Chargers game where the first week was like 36-34. You know, that type of game, or maybe a Washington versus Oregon game, college style. Both of these teams be running college concepts offensively, so this would be very interesting and pretty fun to watch. But yes, my eyes will be glued to the TV. I will not fall asleep. I fell asleep in that Bills and Giants game. That game was goddamn boring. I mean, my God. I didn't want to watch Tyrod Taylor versus Josh Allen, but I'm not Roger Goodell, and I'm not.
Well, even last night. Dude, last night was boring as shit until the fourth quarter.
Oh, I did fall asleep too. I fell asleep. I was sick. I had the game on last night, but I just fell asleep. I couldn't watch it. I tried to get my throat to feel better. It's better now, but it scored points. Jacksonville
in the fourth. In the fourth. Like Jacksonville had a lead. It looked like Jacksonville was going to win the entire game, and it wasn't really entertaining. And then in the fourth quarter, the Saints just decided to show up, and they obviously didn't pull it off, but I don't know.
The dude dropped the easiest touchdown in America. I mean, my God. I mean, I don't know. Some of these Thursday night games have just been a bit out of sequence. I don't understand.
I feel like most of the primetime games this year, like Monday night, Sunday night, and Thursday, most of them this year, I feel like have just been bad. Like even including Dallas versus the Niners, like that was not even entertaining, I'm sure, for a Niners fan. Like when Dallas played
the Giants. Are you talking about bad because of Are you
no,
talking
because
about bad because of like blowouts in general, or just?
Yeah, it's just not blowouts and then boring games like the Steelers and the Browns game, and then also the what was it going on at the same time? The Saints and the Panthers.
Oh, the
Like
Eagles versus the Bucks.
Yeah, that too.
It
Just
was
like
the Eagles versus the Bucks and the Steelers versus the Browns. Yeah, both of those teams. In the same week. It was the same week.
Yeah,
You said Steelers and Browns, said Eagles and
Steelers
the
were
Bucks.
playing.
It was in the same
Yeah,
week.
I'm talking about a different weekend. The Steelers were playing somebody, and then the Panthers were playing the Saints. It wasn't.
Panthers the Saints. My bad. Yeah, Panthers and
Yeah.
Saints.
Either way, that was like a double header, which we've had a few of, and both of those games sucked. And then like multiple Sunday night games have sucked, and then Thursday night has been like so. I don't know. I feel like the Sunday games that are lost in, NFL Red Zone that you have to find on Sunday Ticket or whatever are the most entertaining games. All the primetime games have either been blowouts or nobody's been able to score.
What do you? Let me ask you this: what do you consider as a good game? Just like both teams scoring, TV ratings. Like, how do you consider
it being competitive?
Okay.
Like if like when it was Saints Panthers, and literally it was just the offenses getting to like the 30 and then having to kick field goals. And like I get it, that's a defensive game that's entertaining for some people to watch as like just purist on the defensive side of the ball. I want to see something happen. I don't want to see two bad offenses go out there and just like fling it around until somebody finally scores, like that's not, I don't know. And I think it comes with also the expectations on each team. So like we knew the Panthers weren't going to be great. And I'm just using this game as an example. We knew the Panthers weren't going to be great. But we were excited about Bryce, and then we didn't know about Derek and that offense, but we thought it would be better than what it's been doing this year. I mean, they've had some or like one or two games where the offenses look good, but besides that, they look mediocre at best. So the expectations going into that one and then watching it was like, this sucks. And then you go to like the Steelers, who have had multiple primetime games so far. Their offense can't do a damn thing. The Giants have been on primetime three times this year already. They've gotten blown out every time they've been on primetime. So it's just like a lot of shitty games, maybe a little bit too many shitty teams that people didn't think were going to be bad. But yeah, I don't know.
The Giants being on primetime TV was just the worst.
3 times already. They've been on there 3 times.
4. They're 0-4. They're 0-4 on primetime games. They was on last Sunday night. They was on Sunday night against the Cowboys. They was on Thursday night against the 49ers. And I think they were on, Jesus Christ, Thursday night, Sunday night, twice. They might have been on the Monday Night Football game too, but I don't remember. But they're bad. I don't want to see the Giants no more. I get it. They're in New York, but I don't know what to say. But next episode, we're into Monday Night Football. 49ers versus the Vikings. Now, Lord of mercy, the Vikings are bad. I don't think this will get great ratings, but I like the 49ers, so I'll consider watching. The Vikings are a boring team to watch. Not only because they're losing, but we don't know what we're going to get out of Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins has probably the worst record in Monday Night Football. Like he's not. We bash him for not being great on Monday Night Football, and his record is like below 500. I mean, it's not even.
He's got maybe like 2 or 3 wins on Monday night.
Yes, he's not. Kirk Cousins is not clutch for Monday Night Football. That's something we'll talk about the next. But can Brock Purdy bounce back? I'm confident in 49ers defense, but I'm not confident in that Vikings defense under the new defensive coordinator Brian Flores, who was the genius that helped us win the last Super Bowl in 2018 as a Patriots fan. And I understand it's not easy to turn around the defense, but I think Brian Flores got the wrong job. But I'll talk about that next, and that was Word of Sports. See you in the next 5 minutes. We'll talk about Monday Night Football, the Vikings versus